then it cuts to the morning, which it cuts to a shot from the top of a roof, which I thought was where they were having sex. And in the previous scene, they're like looking out. There's like a nice, but it isn't. And also when I'm thinking about this note, this felt, all right, to me, like it was like an hour and a half in, all right? This was not even 40 minutes in. So
I know, I thought this was like coming up to the
and I'm going to gloss
over
over this bit so we can get onto the... Basically, Brick recruits, I've just got here because I have no idea who he is, some guy that he knows to help him. I've written this down here. I cannot work out what he wants him to do, but he wants him to help out.
I know. And I thought like... So it's one of those moments where this film went, right, we're a heist film, so in all heist films, they have to have a bit where they go and recruit their friends that they haven't seen for a while. But the film never attempts to, A, show us who this character was before, show us this guy's relationship with this character. Yeah. It's just another man, and he's just like, I need you for a job. And then they're like, all right. And then it carries on with the film.
And it's such a small scene. And then it cuts to, and I'm going to take the lead in this next scene,
please do.
Because it blows my mind. I had to rewind this one to make sure I was seeing what I think they wanted us to see, right?
A lot of those scenes in this film.
Yeah. So Brick then goes to some government agency building, all right? And it's like FBI all around. He goes in, all right? And he goes into this room with some sort of like high up suit guy that's in the government.
I wrote politician.
Yeah, he looks like a politician.
But I think
he's working for the FBI.
Bank.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
It's the bank, right? It's not.
Yeah,
it's
it is. It's the guy from later on. Anyway, he goes and basically they don't explain why. But it says that Brick can give the bank $5 million, all right?
Yeah.
In return for $350,000.
See, this is where I think the source of like, because right, so I think what they're doing is they've worked out that the money factory that they're trying to rob is a place where they are getting rid of bad money and printing new money, right?
So
what he's doing is, and look, this is not explaining anything, but this is their thinking, I think, is that they're like, right, he needs to find a way in. So he's going to take some old money to them. Yeah. It'll go through the money factory. That's how he gets into the money factory. But I want to reiterate that. Why are they giving him $3,500 for his money?
$350,000, yeah.
Exactly. Why are they doing that? And this is, again, why it's like, so clearly there's some weird value thing going on with money that's supposed to change at midnight, because he says you've not got long left. Well, that's why I was like, what are they talking about money-wise?
I think they want to claim it as if because the thing's happening at midnight, before all the changes to the signals and crime shit happens, they want to... I think that there's like loads of crimes that have happened that they want to like settle. So I think it's supposed to be. They don't say it, but
they're sort of corrupt.
I don't think it's that. I think it's like a government. I think it's like a initiative set up so that before midnight, before this thing happens, they can like criminals who like have stolen whatever, have like committed crime, can repurpose and like go back in and say like, here's the money we stole, here it is, because they know he's a criminal, but they do not make it clear. I think it might be.
Honestly, just hearing you say that, I didn't get that at all from this scene or this film.
It.
And that makes that infinite, that immediately is like, okay, that kind of makes a bit more sense.
Well, that's it. I had to rewind it twice. And even then, I only got like the hint of it. I think there's like a couple lines that hint at it, but they do not make any effort to explain it.
And also, the suit in this film I wrote down is the least convincing suit I've ever seen in a film. Yeah. He's just like, and I'm going to help you out with the money, man.
Terrible.
And you're like, what's going on? This is a porn actor in a normal film. And also, I don't believe they're in where they are supposed to be. And I'll bring this up now. I was going to bring it up later, but I'll bring it up now because it applies to the whole film and every scene we're going to talk about. The set design and the production of this film is so unbelievably bad.
So bad.
It has the look of a horror maze. You know when like you go to Thorpe Park horror maze or something and they're like, oh, it's themed on Saw. And you're like, oh, that'd be cool. But actually, it's like fucking I don't know, half a film, and you're like, this doesn't look like anything like an actual film set, but they've clearly tried to make it look like a film set.
It's the same with the all props, like, because there's a lot of money involved in it. Anytime it shows money, it looks like Monopoly money. It literally couldn't look more
and
fake.
Also any gun. looks like they look like they are the biggest guns in the whole wide world.
So funny.
They look like big. They might as well be shooting people with fucking foam.
Might
fingers.
as well be like water pistols. All right?
Absolutely. Let's continue through this whirlwind, my friend.
Let's go through. So next scene, it's a brief one, so I'll keep it short. So the Sholto, is it Sholto Copley?
Sholto Copley.
Sholto Copley, all right. So this cop guy, it cuts to him getting a weird thing injected behind his ear, all right, which I assume
they say it's like it'll make you immune to the thing. Wait. I think you missed out the bit where he comes back to the police station and his fellow comrades in the police station who are high above them literally just say to him, "Hey, how you hanging in there? How you hanging in there?"
Yeah,
mate?
I think I skipped out because it is such as there's a lot of this in this film, just filler scenes that it didn't need to be this long because of scenes like this where it's like, what's the point?
But again, it's like that's not how things work.
No.
Your higher up wouldn't just be like, right, you're just back from the shift where you shot a man in the head.
Yeah, he
You're
should
right, mate,
definitely be getting help. If it's
exactly. Not even just
of,
punished, just like you need help.
Yeah.
You're definitely not hanging in there, all right, man.
And
you
also,
murdered a man.
As a police officer, there would definitely be some sort of like paperwork or some sort of investigation, but there isn't.
Have we skipped the scene where she hacks things and prints money?
Yeah. No. The money thing happens
because we
later
have to talk
on.
About.
I think, but I did skip over some hacking things because again, the most boring scenes.
Yeah.
But basically, it's implied that she is an
amazing hacker. Yeah, and she's even like, if I don't know if we're talking about the same scene yet or if I'm coming in too early, but she's like,
I think I have skipped actually. Yeah,
she's like, I hacked the FBI, and that's how I found out how to make fake money. So their plan is we'll print $5 million worth of fake money.
Yeah,
we'll take it to the money factory, and that's our way in.
That's it.
Right?
So they're gonna.
This raises some very interesting and very incredibly dumb questions that I have to address. Right. Firstly, she even says like, it was easier I had to hack HP is a literal line.
So they can just
hack HP.
They hack themselves out of situations here.
She's just like, right, we need to make fake money. So what I'll do is I'll hack the FBI and find out what the money's supposed to look like and all its watermarks. And then I'll have to hack HP because there's a special watermark you can't do.
And it's like, what does that even mean?
What does that mean? If you have a printer that isn't capable of printing something, you can't just hack it and suddenly be able to make that work.
It's so funny. It's like they're just like, right, she's a hacker.
Yeah.
She's got to be able to do this, but we've also just leave out the fact that there's a watermark that you can't hack and just have her do it.
But right, so basically she says that, the fucking dumbest, funniest shit I've ever heard. Yeah. And then she's like, but I did it. I've successfully printed $5 million of fake money, right? And she even says the only thing that would ever give this away as being fake is if you try to set it on fire.
Set it on fire.
So you keep that in mind for later. But this raises a next one on my list of things that make no sense in this film. And I don't know if you've thought of this, Nick, but this, as soon as I realised this, the whole film broke more than it could have ever broken.
Okay.
If you have the ability to perfectly print $5 million of money so well that the only way you could ever tell it isn't fake is if you tried to set it on fire, why do you need to rob the bank? Why don't you just print $1 billion?
That is... Well, you know what, that is true, but I will give it to I will give props.
No, Nick, I won't hear
actually,
it.
I'm not going to give props to the movie, but I will say that I think they're implying that it's good enough that if they check it, they'll be like, yeah, it's different to like actually have it in the, I don't know, in what's the word, like when you have money in.
But if they think it's going to be good enough to fool the, if they think it's going to be good enough to fool the police and government. Why do they not think it could be big enough to fool the police and government in
They've just made £5 million.
And in fact, the only reason, I mean, this is getting to spoiler territory, but we'll ruin it anyway. But the only reason at the end that it doesn't get found out is because they just randomly decide to pull a lighter to it and it burns.
Which I can't wait until we tackle that scene.
So if the whole idea is that this guy wants to rob the bank because he just wants to do crime, you can commit a crime by faking $1 billion.
Yeah.
And the other guy wants to do it to get revenge on them, which doesn't really make any sense anyway. Yeah. Just fake the money and run off. I don't get it. You still mug them off their money.
It doesn't make sense. And it continues with the not making sense, especially with old Kevin's fiance. I don't actually know what she's called the whole way through this film. So
I couldn't tell her name. Couldn't tell you.
Because it then goes on to a scene in which it is revealed that Kevin's fiance, I put here, I think is undercover for the cops.
Yeah.
right?
So it establishes she's talking to FBI, and then she and they're like, you need to help us out here. And then she's like, okay. And then they leave. And then it turns out they've got her sister.
Yeah, and
they've given her
over.
sister a passport to go to Canada.
But it is literally never, and it's brought up again later on, the whole sister thing, but it's never ever explained what the fuck she's talking about when she talks about a deal, like anything. And the cops are so
dumb.
They're so sexual with her.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. And you could say, oh, it's making a point against authority being disgusting and sexist. I don't think it is. I think this film is just sexist.
I think that's just
I think I'm much more inclined to believe that Olivia Megaton is a sexist.
100%.
Because they're like putting their hands all over her, like, oh yeah, well, you could stay around and you could, we don't need to talk about money. There's other things you could do for us. I genuinely believe that Olivia Megaton wrote that scene because he was like, that's a nice scene.
That's hot. Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, it was like, that'd be really hot for everyone to watch in this action film.
Yeah, and it's really weird. And then they give over her sister, who I thought was her daughter because she's so much younger than her.
So much younger.
But it says sister, so we'll go with that.
But that's it. That's all that scene is.
That
and
is
it just
it.
comes out of nowhere, and it isn't really addressed till later. So I wasn't sure if it was like, are we actually supposed to? Because that's a twist, right? But it doesn't really treat it like a twist.
No,
it treats
doesn't.
it just like a part of the story.
It's
we just
really
saw.
early in the film. It's like, okay, so what is the rest of the film going to be?
It doesn't really, like, I'm not saying a film shouldn't really guide you through. You should be able to do think of yourself. But this film doesn't give us anything to cling on to understand how we're supposed to process this data. So it's just like, look, she knows the FBI. Do they have a deal? Do they work together? Is she a good guy? Is this make her a bad guy? I don't fucking know. The film's not smart enough to know either. Fuck this fucking film. Let's keep going.
And then I want to tackle this. I'm going to tackle this next big sort of scene because it's it's the first of my favorite scenes in the film where it just goes just so fucking batshit terrible. All right. So Brick and Kevin go to his gangster dad's house.
Right? This is it. This is my favorite scene in the film.
This is it. It's so funny, and it's so out of from everything that's happened before. It's just like the tone, it's fucking hilarious.
This scene takes this film from 0 to 100
quickly,
quicker than you could even begin to imagine.
Are we on stealth at Fort Park? Because I'm going 0 to 100 in 2.5, baby.
Wow.
Right, so
let's go.
They get to the gangster dad's house. There's a party happening, all right? I've put here, I don't know what's happening now. All right?
Wait.
They get brought in by some security guards.
Can we talk about how they get, just really quickly, this is so funny. This is so funny to me. I have to talk about it. So they turn up in the huge silver Hummer.
Proper silver.
And they pull up to this, and there's security guards with guns, and they're like, stop, and they're like, ah, fuck, and they have a bit of an aggressive one-to-one. The security guard that they clearly had a bit of past with, because, he's this guy coming up to him is the son of the dad that owns him, and the security guard. And he's like, I haven't seen you for a while. He's got a gun and everything. The security guard gets into the Hummer on the back seat and puts a gun at Brick, our lead character. He's like, who's this then? And the guy's like, oh, he's my best friend. He's untouchable. And then it cuts to a wide establishing shot. The Hummer drives about maybe a meter. It drives a meter in front.
And then they get out.
And then it stops and they all get out the car.
What was the actual point?
And I laughed more than I have ever laughed in a film.
Oh, let me tell you this much for free, mate. I chuckled then, but the laughter didn't flow until the next, maybe 10 minutes later. Stuart.
Yeah, the next 10 minutes are the only bit of this film that made it almost worthwhile.
So funny. So I'm going to run you through what happens, all right? They get taken in by security, all right? Security checks them for guns, puts their guns down, takes their weapons, and you see them put them on a table. This is important for later in the scene, all right?
Of course.
Then they go up through this party and they see Kevin's sister, all right? And they're like, oh, quirky, whatever. And the sister's all like regal and whatever and blah, blah, blah. So they go upstairs and they see Kevin's dad, all right? The big mob boss person.
Yeah, he's in like this typical scenery. They're like, this guy's a criminal dad. He's a mob boss. Let's make a room that is just criminal mob boss. And it's exactly what you're picturing in your head right now.
It's so funny. It's like wood. There's like moose.
Wooden, like leather sort of.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Grim.
And they start talking to Kevin's dad and essentially get into an argument because it's revealed that Kevin had sex with his stepmom.
But he drops it so casually. He's just like,
just
yeah,
puts
well,
it in.
it's like the dad turns around to Brick and he's like, well, this guy fucked his own mum.
Yeah, it's literally that.
That might as well be the line.
And so they start arguing. And then it also comes out in this same argument where there's already been the bombshell that this guy's fucked his dad's wife, all right?
Yeah.
And then it comes out that the dad killed his actual mum, just shot her dead. And it's pretty much for fun, all right? So that's in the same conversation. And then it gets so heated that Kevin gets shot by his dad at the same time.
Kevin. They
he goes
just
to
had
a wall of like axes.
Yeah, they've had a fight where he's just like, well, you fucked your stepmother. And he's like, yeah, I did fuck her. And then his dad's like, well, I shot your mum.
I murdered your mum.
And then
he's like, what?
Kevin, in a rage, walks over to the wall.
Yeah.
Is like, I'm going to pick something up.
And it's getting heated.
Yeah, turns around, throws a knife at his dad.
And
at
it's
the
like
same
an axe,
time
mate.
his dad
It's like
shoots.
an actual axe.
Yeah,
he throws an axe
dad.
at his dad, and at the same time gets shot. So he gets. So this is the first of many times in this film that someone gets shot, and it apparently has no consequences. He gets shot, all right, in his like chest, all right.
Yeah, very close range.
Very close range. His dad is dead, all right? And then he's like, they're like, what do we do now? And Brick is like, oh my God, what do we do?
No, wait. Brick has a line which only further emphasizes that this guy has actually got no brain cells. He says the line, this is verbatim. Did you kill your father, asshole?
Yeah.
Is the line.
I think maybe.
I don't know. He's got an axe in his head.
Yeah.
And it's bleeding down and he is limp and he's not breathing.
Do you want an ibuprofen, mate?
Do you want to get a doctor in? Do you call a doctor in, Brick?
Got a bit of an achy heady?
You absolute dumb cunt.
Goon. And then so he's like, what do we do now? And then Kevin is just like, don't worry. Presses a button, right? He just presses a button that he has, and it cuts down to the room that the security took their weapons, and there's like a bomb on the guns, and it blows up the whole the downstairs whatever, right?
They blow up so much.
Blows up the whole thing. And then the security are like, what the fuck? So they come up to try and raid the room, okay?
Yeah.
But the door's locked, okay? The door's locked, so they're safe in there. And then Kevin opens another door, and there's a huge weapons room,
yeah,
okay?
Big room of weapons.
And he takes
Classic.
like a bunch of weapons, okay? Is it all right? A big shootout happens through the door, and then Kevin's like, use that bazooka on the wall to get out. So Brick shoots a fucking rocket launcher at the other wall, and it breaks this perfect circle.
It's like this lovely, a smashed wall.
Yeah, and then they hop out, okay, and they walk.
And they just walk out.
And they just walk out.
Out.
They walk downstairs, and it's empty, even though it's where a party and the security just were. So apparently all the security's gone upstairs. There's just no one there, apart from his sister, Kevin's sister, who then shoots Kevin again. So Kevin has now been shot twice. Once in the chest, once in the shoulder, right? He's been shot twice.
Yeah.
He retaliates by shooting his sister dead.
But right. So his sister shoots him and he shoots her. And again, just like the dad and him it's the quickest thing that's ever happened. It's like
very
bang, bang.
quick.
It's
Yeah.
like bang, bang. And they just shot each other.
Yeah. And then I've just got here, they escape, but Kevin is fine. He's been shot twice. He's just a bit like, ow. You have been shot in the chest and the shoulder. And the chest one happened at least 5 minutes ago. And you're just like, oh, a bit achy.
But this is the best part. They're in the car driving away. As you said, he's been shot twice.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy should be fucking dead. He's been shot in the gut and in the chest. He's been shot twice. And Brick says to him, get yourself cleaned up. Like, throws a rag on him, get yourself cleaned up. When they leave.
Yeah.
Just get yourself cleaned up, mate.
Just get yourself cleaned up.
Is that really what you should do?
Maybe
I think
go
you
to
should,
the hospital.
Yeah, man.
Maybe
seek some serious urgent medical care, and also help him out, Brick. You absolute dickhead.
Yeah,
This guy's
what a
been
bell
shot
end.
twice. And he's
Yeah.
like, sort yourself out, mate. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Fucking
So then Brick leaves, and he gets back to his. Gets back to normal life, all right. And he's in a caravan, with Kevin's fiance.
Yeah.
And Brick is taken hostage out of the blue, just all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's just a scene between Brick and a woman, and then like from left frame, a man just like picks him up.
And it's the people that were just the security guys at the house. And I'm telling you now, so Brick's driven to this place. A bit of time goes. It's so quick. It's supposed to be like a short amount of time after the thing happened.
It's literally
before.
like the next, like there's a cut and they're just in another place. And
they are just there. And
10
then
seconds later, the bad guys are there.
The bad guys are there. So the bad guys are there. They've taken Brick hostage in the. They've tied him up. They're going to torture him. All right. And the guy's like, you're done for. I'm going to let someone else have a go on you.
This is so funny to me. This scene is so funny. Look, I know I said that this is objectively the worst film of the year, maybe one of the worst of the last decade and the one coming up, but I loved this scene.
It was so funny. So the guy, this was the start of like this. Everything so far has been stupid, but there's something happens in this scene where I'm like, oh, okay, that is actually nonsensical. That doesn't
and the film
make
doesn't
sense.
And the film doesn't know it. The film
doesn't know it. It treats it like it is, okay?
It doesn't know it.
So the guy leaves and he's like, there's someone that wants to say hello to Brick who's tied up on a chair. And then so in walks a guy, and it turns out it's the guy from the very beginning of the film, okay? The very beginning.
Honestly, Nick, I lost my shit because they do that thing where they're like, oh, I'm not going to interrogate you. Yeah. We'll just let my friend do it. And then there's like a couple of shots of his legs.
They
and you're
don't
like,
show him who it is. And you're like...
Yeah, as soon as I saw the legs walking, I was like, it's the guy from the beginning.
Because that's the only person they've shown.
And he's carrying gasoline. They're like, he's the incinerator or something. They can't have a name for him. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's got a completely burnt face.
It's the worst prosthetic. Looks like he's a cheese string melting in the sun. And he is literally like, I'm going to torture you. Covers him in gasoline. Like,
can we talk about the fact that I don't think we really quite addressed that enough. The guy survived. When I said at the beginning of this, when I said earlier that was the biggest explosion I'd ever seen from gasoline and a cigarette, the guy survived it.
He should be. It wasn't just a fire. It was a full explosion.
It was an actual massive explosion that took out the whole top floor or something. This guy shouldn't be walking. But he's like, here I am, I've got a scar on my face.
Yeah, all he's got is this messed up face and like bandages on his arms. The rest of him is in a suit. He's just like, woo!
Woohoo!
So he covers it in gasoline and then he lights it and leaves. And the caravan, they make a point of showing this very quickly, right?
Yeah,
so there's the caravan literally fills with flames, like
completely
proper big
engulfed in flames. This guy sat in a chair in the middle of flames, straight up flames.
When I was watching it, I put, there's no way that Brick isn't dead. But I bet they're going to say that he's escaped. Yeah, right? He's got out the back.
I had that exact thought. I was like, you're just showing that this man should be dead.
Except they then double down because it cuts to inside the caravan, fully engulfed in flames.
There's so much fire.
There is not a flame on Brick, and there's one shot that cuts to
from
above.
Yeah, what was that?
It's supposed to be that he's enclosed in the flames. He is literally, there's like a circle on the floor which isn't caught. Yeah, it doesn't have flames on it, and he's in that circle. What?
Yeah, it's like, wait, you've just got drenched in gasoline.
Yeah. You just covered this man in gasoline, and to the point where the whole caravan is literally up in flames.
It looks like, when you're editing video and stuff, it looks like they had the shot of, obviously this is what they did. They had the shot of Rick and the actual footage. Above it, they had a shot of flames, and they just put a circle mask in the middle of the frame around him.
And then he like shuffles to the door and gets pulled out of nowhere. Brick's friend, who he earlier had gone to recruit to be part of the mission, just pulls him out the caravan, and they get like 10 meters out, and the whole thing fucking blows up.
Huge explosion again,
Right, so that's the first time in a main character in this film, actually directly after Kevin
got shot twice and then walked off.
Brick should absolutely be dead at this point.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you don't, and also, I always find this weird in films, right? If you want us to believe that a character got out, why wouldn't you just show just shoot it in a different way? So don't show him in the middle of flames. You have an
easy way to be like, oh, he didn't. But they just show him. Yeah.
Or just, if the plot is just that the guy was interrogating him from his past and then this guy saved him, just have the guy save him before he gets put into all these flames. Don't put him in a situation where he's obviously supposed to be dead if he was a real human being. It's so dumb.
So dumb.
Doesn't make any sense.
And then yeah, that happens. And while this happened, the bad guys have put Kevin's fiance into a car and taken her. So then there's a car chase.
Oh,
right?
wait, yeah, there's a car chase. Wait, is Kevin in this car chase? Doesn't Kevin pick him up or something?
No.
Why have I written?
No.
At this point, I've written the note, Kevin, and this is hilarious, but I don't know if this is the right point. Kevin put plasters on his bullet wound.
So this is what happens. I know this is after this. So I'm going to quickly run through the car chase, and then we can get to that because that is fucking funny.
Okay,
right?
cool, yeah.
So basically, there's a car chase.
No, I wrote that before the car chase.
No. So Kevin goes to his. So on the side of this car chase, Kevin has gone back to his own building, his own house, and he's patched himself up. You don't see the plasters until later on after the car chase. So we'll leave it to then. But so there's a car chase, all right? And they all end up having basically it's Brick chasing after the bad guys there's a massive crash
because they kidnapped the
because they took Kevin's fiance. So Brick ends up crashing his car to the point where it flips a few times and smashes onto the floor. Yeah. And he just crawls out absolutely fine, all right?
Yep, exactly.
And then he finds this random car comes up, he's like, give me your fucking truck. So he gets in the truck and goes. And then they're driving so I've just got, it goes to bad mob boss guy. This is it. So he's fine. Cuts to a random building where the bad guy who's just taken Kevin's fiance.
Oh yeah.
Just shoots her up with heroin.
Yeah, shoots heroin in her arm and then
is about
tries
to
to fuck her.
Tries to rape her, and then as he tries to rape her, Brick comes in, strangles him from behind, and it's fine. And then it goes back to this is where it's funny. Goes back to the place where Kevin's trying to patch himself up, and he just has plasters on his bullet wounds.
He just has, it's so he's got a bullet hole in his chest and a bullet hole in his gut, and honestly it's not even two plasters, it's just a plaster on top.
Such a small amount
how
of
he's patched
dressing
up.
And it's
and he's walking,
so
he's
small.
Sweet, fine, all good, all patched up.
He's just walking, it's fine, all good. And then at the same time, so then they're all together now in this I don't know where, but
wait, there's don't they fuck again?
No, so this is what happens. So basically, they're all together. Graham's friend, Brick's friend, the main guy, who he recruited earlier, stitches them all up, so they're all fine. They do fuck again because they're all fine, and they just continue with the plan. They decide to do it. Yeah. And I've got noted here, even though Kevin was literally shot twice, Brick was set alight and crashed a car, and Kevin's fiance was injected with heroin. They're all fine.
The next
just back
scene,
to normal.
And Brick's just like, "You all right?" And she's like, yeah. And she's just got a bit of blood on her head.
Yeah.
Are you all right? You've been injected with heroin.
You are strung out right now.
And then
this
is the best bit. That scene. It's just after. It's all good. We haven't seen. Kevin hasn't come back to them yet. It's just Brick and the girlfriend just talking because they're like, all right, we'll patch things up. They're just like, oh well, I guess we should just fuck on this wall again. Yeah. This is my favorite thing. They go to have another sex scene. It starts the sex scene. It's like, here we go. We're gonna have another sex scene. It's almost the same as that first one in the bathroom stall. Up against the wall, they start really fucking. Here we go. We're
again,
just
no
stand
chemistry,
next to each other.
chemistry.
And then Kevin walks in, and they're like, "Oh, no sex scene then."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Well, there was no point in any of that."
Yeah,
was
very strange, very weird. And then so begins what I'll class as the climax to the film. Begins from here on out.
Yeah, the climax of this film is what I really wanted this film to be for the whole thing, but I really feel like we have to stress this. The climax of this film comes after an hour and 40 minutes of whatever that dog shit is.
And the climax is an hour.
Yeah,
it's such, this all wraps up into this.
I just wrote, one of the notes here is, so long, so bored, stop fucking. It's so long, I can't express it enough.
It's just awful. So let's get into this is where it really comes into its own with how it decides to wrap up the story. All right. So I'm just going to blitz through bits and then let's focus on the main absolute comedy gold that it doesn't think it is. Kevin's fiance gets through security at this API beacon tower thing.
Right, I didn't know how she did this, but she just turns up. She's like,
She turns up
with this guy. I assume it's
she's
because
like,
she's supposed to know the
this
FBI.
is what I've noted down. Because she's been working with the FBI, they know her. So she turns up, and this
but it's
guy.
not the But it's not. This is what this film doesn't get. The FBI and the police aren't the same thing.
That's what I think. That's what is never addressed in this.
Yeah,
they just treat it like they are.
They're like, she knows the FBI, so she can just get into the police station.
So she goes in, and the FBI guy's like, "Yep, come in. She's with me." Goes through a scanner that literally comes up with a red sign saying "wanted." All right, and another FBI guy goes, "Oh my god, stop! She's wanted." And the guy she's with is like, "That's cool. Come with me." And he's like. He looks scared. He's like, okay. And then she just goes through. So she's in.
It's one of those points where I'm like, is it trying to make a point?
No,
like,
it's
I don't
just
think
stupid. So that's happened, right? She's in the FBI place, right?
Yeah.
And then it cuts to. I've really condensed this down because it's so long. So basically,
quick fire.
So Brick's friend, who is that he's recruited, you finally find out that he recruited him to drive a truck, right? Yeah. So he's driven a truck into, I assume, the basement of this building. I don't know where. Doesn't say where.
Why you say that, this is a good point to point. So this is clearly like the heist has begun, right? This is the heist.
The heist has begun.
This is the whole point of the film. This film does what all bad heist films do, which is where it assumes you just know what a heist is.
Yeah,
So it's like, we're not going to show you
Doesn't explain
why.
what happens.
We're never going to explain what the plan is. You're never told what the plan is other than we're just going to go in and get money.
Yeah.
And so things just happen. And you're like,
just
okay.
happen.
And you're left to just be like, I guess that was why that guy was needed to drive a truck. Oh, I guess that's where they give him the money. You're never given any reason to understand what's going on with this heist, which is completely misunderstanding what's interesting about heist films.
You want to see how it goes down, and you see how it goes down, but again, you want to see why and like the planning and
anyone could make a fucking film about a guy walking into a bank and picking up a bag of money. It's not interesting unless you know what's going on, why they're doing it, and how they're planning to do it. That's the whole intrigue about heist, and it doesn't have any of it. I hate it. I hate this film so much, Nick.
Yeah, it's dog shit.
Please,
it's proper dog shit. So Brick drives into this FBI place, right? And it's all like, and they're like keeping an eye on him, and he's like, yeah. And so he drives in, all right? Essentially gets in, and the suit guy from earlier, who he's agreed to trade $5 million for $350,000 for some reason comes out and is like, sick. They get the money out of the boot, they put it on the floor. He's like, great, this is perfect, blah, blah, blah. Flicks through. But then literally as Brick gets back in the car, the suit guy just pulls his lighter out, lights the money.
Better just check this money by setting it on fire.
Yeah. Lights it, obviously realizes it's fake. So they're immediately like, this is fake. Lock this shit down, stop this guy. So Brick drives the car into a lift, I think. It's like a big industrial lift where they can bring whatever. But there is honestly at least 8 fully armed FBI people with like submachine guns, right? Like fully, like everything, right? And they unload onto his car.
Yeah, they simply rail him.
And I'm saying it's like, if you're looking onwards, it's like an industrial lift. So you can they're just shooting at the car. There's nowhere else. And he's fine. He's absolutely fine.
He's unscathed.
He's unscathed.
Right, this is the first point. We'll come up a bit later. But I think this film's suggesting that trucks make you invincible.
I think that's it, because it shows the windscreen getting battered, but he's fine. He's absolutely fine.
Of course he's, mate. He's Brick. He's fucking Graham Brick, mate.
Yeah. So then I've cut through a little bit. He's fine. Lift door closes, goes down to another level. I think down or up. I don't know. Gets to another level, and there's loads of money in there.
So much money.
So there's so much money, and they say there's $1 billion. Okay, $1 billion.
This is again. Why make it that number? That is such a even if there was $1 billion to steal, it just sounds dumb. Make 100%. It less than that. Just make it less than $1 billion. There's not going to be $1 billion in notes, but there is $1 billion, right? So they just take it. They get it, and eventually. So this is. I've skipped through a whole bunch of shit that was just like they blow down a door of the safe. The guy that it's so dumb. He's in there because
essentially. I'm going to cut through all of this shit. They get the $1 billion and they drive off. All right?
But they drive out, and there is I wrote this down. One car.
There's one car.
There's literally one police truck outside.
They just knock it. They knock it.
And they drive past it, basically.
And then they get. Sorry, go on.
Sorry.
Oh, no, yeah.
Well, I was going to say about we get a bit of a plot line with the woman, because it's like, while they're doing this, we need to do something with the fiance, and we also need to do something with
any of that because it's just
right. So we just have to talk about the fact that Sharto Copley has another scene here, one of his 4 scenes in the film.
Yeah,
he has a fight with her.
Point to his character.
He has a fight with her in which the only point
that hasn't happened yet.
That
hasn't happened yet.
Oh, I thought you just said you missed it out.
No. So
we'll get to it, mate. Well,
so
then we'll get to it.
I'll let you take that when we get through.
Okay,
So
of course,
basically, they this is the funniest scene, right? They get to a location, just like a warehouse, and they're sorting through the money. And then the signal, so this is what's happened so far. The signal keeps coming on and off, and I can't work out, and the movie doesn't know what is happening with the signal.
This is where it sort of goes back on their plan originally, and it makes me get confused, because it's like, oh, so it goes off, and then she's there to hack it after it goes off.
Exactly. But then that's what I mean. They hack it to
she
go
shuts
off,
it
and
down
it keeps coming
after
back
it goes
on.
off.
So I'm just going to read through my note for this scene. The signal comes back on, all right? So they're all like, oh, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
But then Kevin shoots the driver guy friend of Brick.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh my God, what? And then there's a big reveal, basically, that Kevin in prison was the one that killed Brick's brother, okay?
Which is, in itself, the least shocking twist ever. Like, cool. Because all this guy's done in this film is prove to you that he's clearly not... He's clearly got an ulterior motive.
A dick, But then they explain why.
They show
and basically, in the prison, they were like putting people up against each other and playing the signal as a test to see whether they could. And it turns out that Kevin, just for some reason, figured out how to just not be affected.
No, Nick, I'll tell you exactly why he figured out.
Please, because I didn't.
The film explicitly says it, Nick. It's still there. It explicitly says it, Nick. It says it in the voiceover.
Enlighten me.
The reason Kevin is immune to this signal is because...
Isn't it like willpower?
It's because, and he says, I found out that I had a moral compass of black and white, even as a sociopath. I just switched it off.
Yeah. So it's like,
he literally says, I just feel nothing, and that's why I can't be.
Yeah. So then, so that just happens. They're just like, Kevin can't be affected by it. He's immune by it because he just decided. I've just written down here. He just decided that he wouldn't be, right?
And that is it. I really don't think we can stress this enough. Even as much as the film wants to paint it as like a deep, profound thing, he literally just decided. He doesn't feel anything.
He's just like,
and
okay,
so he can't.
So what? Everyone can just decide, and that's it. So then, Kevin shoots Brick right in the chest with a shotgun.
It's so close.
So close. And I'm talking...
It's honestly under a meter.
Under a meter, like
I
point
reckon, like,
blank.
I reckon like it's like a foot away from his chest.
With a shotgun right to the chest, okay? Right in the middle.
Right, that would obliterate a human
You'd
carcass,
be dead.
Right?
Even if you weren't dead after like... You'd be fucked, all right? So he shoots him right in the chest... and I put down here in full caps, but he's not dead yet. What the fuck?
He just limps over, and did you know you see the bullet?
Yeah, you see the bullet hole on the back.
Bullet exit wound on the back, and it's like a little
tiny.
It's like a little fucking pin prick out his back.
They made such a big deal of the shot. There's like smoke coming out of the shotgun.
Yeah, it's a
like
massive
shrapnel.
blast.
It's a big bang, and the back thing is honestly like a pea. It's like a.
It suddenly makes a little bit more sense why the filmmakers believe that you could just patch a bullet wound up with plasters, because clearly they don't know how bullets work.
And then Brick and Kevin are just talking while Brick's on the floor.
Yeah.
Should be dead, but he's just kind of like it's kind of a bit achy. And
he gets a second shot.
Kevin, that does happen, but Kevin...
I feel like, Nick, I think we really need to address this. Kevin shoots him again in the ear with a shotgun.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He
shoots him again in the ear.
And it just, like, makes his neck bleed.
Yeah. So he's battered, and he's just fucked. And at this point, remember, Kevin had been shot twice earlier, so he's not in a good state anyway.
No, neither of them are.
And then Kevin, out of the blue, gets shot. And you're like, what?
No, but not before Brick has this really cool action guy line, which doesn't actually make any sense. He literally just goes, "Are you bulletproof?"
Yeah,
and then
you're like,
Kevin's
wait, what does he
know?
know?
And then he gets shot.
Yeah,
from
so
someone
he gets
else.
shot by the FBI The cops from earlier that were agreeing with Kevin's fiance that they are in a car and they've shot him with a sniper, okay? Which makes you think, and also from so far away. So it's like, they never addressed this. Was Brick in on it?
Well, no, he said, I think the FBI literally say, like, thanks for helping us out.
Oh, okay.
And
so
it's like, okay, wait, so Brick was in on it.
Yeah.
But this scene suggests that Brick doesn't know what they're doing.
No,
Brick's like, well, cool, you can let her go now. And they're like, nope.
No, it's fine. They're like, okay, we're not gonna. And then it turns out...
Film changes its mind.
Yeah, I've got here, FBI shoots Kevin with a sniper, but they don't shoot Graham. Why haven't they killed him? Also, Brick, should definitely be dead. He's just... the whole scene is just bleeding out.
He's
just
there.
He's sat
dead.
up fine. He's just like, hello, okay.
We cannot stress this enough. He got shot twice by a shotgun by about 15 centimetres away from him.
Yeah. And then Brick eats a tablet, and this is one of the things. So earlier in a film, at the beginning of the film, we didn't mention
some
this.
weird guy in a pig suit.
He's given this thing, but they never explain what it is.
Oh, they explain it. They do explain something about it. He literally, the guy that gives it to him says, this is a direct line. I wrote it down. He says, this is some Soviet shit.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they say. He hands over this silver thing with red dots on it. You now realise that the red dots are pills.
Yeah.
And Brick eats one.
And he's just like...
And it doesn't explicitly make a point of showing what it does. He just suddenly...
it's not like he has any reaction to it. He's just sort of like, okay,
he
cool,
just does
I've had some pills.
Gets up, and then he starts shooting back at the FBI in a car.
Yeah,
basically.
He absolutely unloads on them.
And he unloads and he kills the
murders.
FBI.
Yeah,
right?
He murders these two officers, right? This doesn't make sense, and I need to talk about this. This really, really grind my gears. Yeah. So this whole point is that clearly these pills have made him immune to the signal, so he can now commit the crime he wants to do, right?
Is that the point? I don't know.
That's obviously what he's done, because he was, until then, he was like shaking, like, I can't do the crime.
He's still been shot in the
this is it. He has, so this film at this point is suggesting the only thing stopping the only thing stopping Brick from doing this crime and murdering his FBI is the signal, and not the fact that he's been absolutely injured to shit by 2 shotgun blasts. Even if you suddenly were able to think about shooting those people and you wanted to do it, you wouldn't be able to stand up. You wouldn't be able to aim your gun. You just
so
continue
far away
to lie
as well.
there.
Yeah, you'd be fucked. You just wouldn't be able to do it.
Why is a pill the only thing that is it saying it gives him super strength as well?
Exactly. That's
know.
what I got, because but then he doesn't. It's not like he's fine. He's still like.
Well, exactly. So I think the film just doesn't know how things work.
It just doesn't know what it is. Okay. So then this gets on to. I can let you take this bit.
Okay.
It cuts back to Kevin's fiance and Sharlto Copley.
Yeah. So this is the final scene of Sharlto Copley in the film. He's had 4 scenes. I don't know if you felt this, Nick, but why was he in this film?
I have no idea.
What was the point in his character? Because at the beginning you're like, okay, I think it's setting up something about him having murdered someone on the job.
And there was a point where there was like a random cutscene where he was at home and there was newspaper clippings on the...
Yeah. Exactly, and there's things about his past. He's shot other people, and he's gone back to the flat. So I was like, okay, so the point is that he's going to come back and he's going to have some kind of arc where he learns it. It seems like the only reason he comes back is to not immediately kill her. Yeah. Because there's a fight because he doesn't want to kill her. But what they do instead is they just throw each other through every glass furniture in that room in the most comical manner.
I want to put in here as well that for like 30 seconds of this fight, the signal comes on and she's affected by it. Okay, Kevin's fiance is like, can't do it.
Yeah.
And then she just isn't.
Yeah,
they don't say that. It doesn't say that the signal's gone off. She just doesn't, and then she starts beating him up again.
But yeah, so this scene is so strange. It's like they just needed something to do with this fiance character, and they also needed something to do with Sharlto Copley's character that they put in the film and realized they didn't know what to do with him. So they just she kills him. She kills him. She accidentally kills him because she falls off the table with him, and and glass goes through his neck. We never see him again. Yeah. We've only seen him 4 times in this film for a probably grand total of about 8 minutes screen time. I don't know why he's in this film, Nick. I don't know. I don't know why he's in this film.
I couldn't tell you why any of that was in it.
I don't know why. I honestly think the only reason that character's in this film is so at that point in the film, they didn't have a policeman that stops her, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But she then, so their scene ends, they've had a fight, she's killed the cop. She then just walks out. Yeah. She just walks out of this FBI police, whatever. And when she steps out the door, there's one police officer behind her, like, hey, stop.
Yeah.
Hey, like the most timid police. Hey,
So,
stop.
so
She just keeps
timid.
walking. He's like, hey, you should stop. And then there's like one extra guy comes into frame.
And then like
hey, you should
gradually
stop.
6 people.
Gradually,
come in.
6 of the most timid police officers I've ever seen walk behind him. They're like, hey, could you stop?
not
She
do
just
that,
walks
Mrs.?
out. They're like, hey, please, could you stop? We'll give you. I think one of them said, we'll give you the 5. She's covered in blood.
She's literally
they know-
obviously
Yeah, as you said before, a big thing popped up when she walked through the door earlier saying wanted.
And
she
also,
came out covered in blood
yeah.
without the guy that went in with her, and they're not immediately like, she's trouble. They're
She's
just like,
the one
hey,
that did
could
it,
you
yeah.
stop walking?
Yeah,
And
and
then
then-
we
yeah,
have
go
the
on.
funniest ever solution to anything in this film.
Yeah, let
a
it
film, a climax of this film that is made up exclusively of the funniest resolutions to storylines ever. This
So
takes
funny.
the fucking cake.
This is
she
it,
walks
yeah.
out, and the shot is like her and the 6 policemen behind. They're like, we're gonna shoot 5, 4, 3, 2, and she's like, what? And then a truck hits them, and it is the
So
quickest.
quick.
They've clearly sped up the shot, so it's
Yeah.
like boom, it's there, and Brick's just like, hey, I'm in a truck.
But she does. I can't remember what she does. She like clicks or something, or she's like, she
Yeah.
recognizes that it's happened, even though she's facing the other way. Which,
Yeah.
which the only explanation for that is that they've timed that.
Yeah, exactly.
That she knew that was going to happen.
because she's not looking at it when it happens.
But what?
And she's just like, yeah, man, we did it.
So then they're fine. She gets in this truck with Brick. Again, he is literally covered in blood. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, they're both. She is covered.
They
he
are
is more
in,
covered.
They
in
should
blood.
both be dead. He should definitely be dead. Okay? They drive off through a police blockade in the street. Okay? They keep driving, and it's like, and I say blockade like it's a fence. There's like
No. This
military
Nick,
vehicles.
it's not just a blockade. This is the border.
Yeah. No. This bit isn't.
No, yeah, it is. This is the American side of the border.
Oh, shit, it is.
They
Yeah,
cross
yeah,
a
yeah.
bridge, and there is a Canada side of the border. So they go through 2 borderline blockades.
Yeah.
The film is set up as being impenetrable. You'll get murdered if you go through them.
They just drive through.
They just this is
walls
it.
just
they
fall
just
down.
drive through it.
It's
and so
so
again,
funny.
Nick, I posit this to you, Nick. This film is saying that the only thing that got these people through was a big truck.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
was no one else just driving through it?
So funny.
It's just a big. They don't even. It's
There's
not
like-
we've got some smart
yeah.
plan to get across the bridge. We'll take out these officers here. We'll take out these officers there.
Yeah.
We'll formulate some plan to get through. No. They just drive
and
through
there's like
it with a truck.
military vehicles and tanks, loads
Yeah.
of armed people, and they're just like,
They're like,
we've got
oh
a truck.
no! I guess a truck got through,
and
so
then-
they're fine.
Yeah, so then they drive through the American side of the border from the blockade over a bridge and there's a voiceover of like, we've got you covered, whatever, and there's a police helicopter light looking down searching for them.
Yeah.
Then they do the same thing to the Canadian border.
Yeah,
they
just
just
go
they
straight-
just
they just
go
fucking go
straight
straight-
through.
And it's like, apparently the helicopter and everything on is just
Yeah.
like, well, they're through now.
And then the moment they're through, they just drive off and they're just driving. It's
They're
fine.
just- yeah,
Everything's
it's like,
gone.
sweet. We
There's
made it to Canada.
There was a
Nice.
police helicopter chasing you where they could where is all of
Yeah.
What?
What this scene does for me is it proves that the only thing stopping these people getting through the most impenetrable border ever was a truck.
Yeah.
And B, the police force are so unbelievably inept that
Yeah.
they couldn't stop a guy in a truck
It's
that's
so
been shot twice
stupid.
getting to Canada. I mean, it just
That's
it
the
was
thing. You
truly
need to keep in
baffling.
mind the whole way through this is that it would be stupid anyway, but also he's literally dying and should
Yeah.
be dead. There's no
Right,
way.
but
Yeah.
here is another. Oh my god! I mean, it just gets funnier. This ending. So they get through and they stop at like this pier, and she's like, and it's like, oh, okay, so this is a romance. And then at this point in the film, it's like, oh, so what was the point in this? Oh,
Yeah.
you're telling us it's a romance? Fine, well, fuck you then.
She
This film was
literally
absolute
says, "I
trash."
love you."
No. She's like, I've got something to tell you. And then he just like dies.
He dies.
He's
He
like,
just
"Well,
dies."
I'm dead. And then no. Before he dies, he looks like he's dead, and she goes, "I love you.
Yeah.
Wake up. And you're like, oh, one of these scenes, classic. This is cringy.
They're like,
and
do
then
you
he's
love
like,
each other?
And then under his breath, he's like, oh, what is it? He says something
Yeah,
like, wait, I think I
I
might
can't
have written
remember
it
the
down.
line.
Doesn't he say something like, you just tick something off my list?
It's something like that, and you're
I'm
just
pretty
like,
sure that's the line. You just tick something off my list. It's like, what? This was on your
this
list,
was
mate?
the setup.
This seems like a very long-winded way to get a girl.
Very strange.
So, so the film was just he wanted to get with her. They wanted to be together.
Was that it? Because there was, and also because there's no chemistry the whole way through.
No.
The film doesn't know whether to devote enough time to them or the heist, so it does both.
This is it.
So at the end, it decides it's about them, and you're like, well, what?
Well, fuck that. Yeah. Well, how about film? Fuck that. How about write a better fucking film?
Do better.
Absolute knobhead.
Do better. And then the film ends with the best scene. She's at a lake. He's died, right? She's just at a lake with her sister. Don't know where she came from.
I need you to,
How did she get to Canada to there?
She's just there, yeah. But she but she's scattering ashes
of his brother.
Yeah.
Rory.
Oh, is that his brother?
It says on it Rory's ashes.
I thought it was him.
No. So that would have been so funny.
Burnt him and was putting the ashes in a lake in the space of one cut.
No, she has his ashes, which implies that he had his brother's ashes the entire way through the heist.
Exactly, we've not seen them at all. So he's just been clinging on to his brother's ashes for the whole film.
She sprinkles them in a lake, and then she drives off, and as she's driving through a lot of nice landscapes with drones, and then it ends.
No. Do you want to tell them? Do you want me to tell them?
What?
It doesn't just end it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, it doesn't just end it. I'll tell you exactly how it ends. She drives off, and it ends with "Personal Jesus" by Depeche Mode playing over the top. And that is the exact point. I literally just wrote, "Holy fuck, this film cannot be real."
And then
they did it.
Instead of cutting to black, it has a directed by, which comes up on the screen.
The titles just fade
while
on
the
screen
shot's
as
still
they're
happening
driving
of her driving. And it's like, this film thinks it is so incredible.
It thinks it's Scorsese, mate.
It thinks it's Scorsese. It probably thinks it's a masterpiece.
And I genuinely, bottom of my heart, do not believe that Olivier Megaton, I don't actually think he's aware of the cliches he's using.
There's no way.
Depeche Mode.
It's so
Personal
funny.
Jesus.
It's
playing
so
over your credits.
Oh, do better, Megatron boy.
Oh my God.
Literally so bad.
I genuinely, it's hard to express how much time was wasted.
Yeah, at this point, I thought I'd aged a few years because it felt like I'd aged a few years.
It's 2.5 hours long.
Film.
It's so long.
I think now that we've gone through the whole plot, I just want to tap on. I'm aware of time. We don't want to.
Yeah, this has gone on, but look, this is a special episode. Nick,
I want
the listeners deserve.
Yeah, I want to tap on. I've got down at the bottom a few general notes of just general reasons I hate it.
Of course.
Maybe you can explore it as well.
Absolutely, let's have it.
And then I just want to read a couple of reviews from IMDb.
It'd only be right, a bit of democracy.
So my first point overall, which annoyed me about the film, is it happened a few times. There kept being the weirdest camera movements mid conversation
and zooms.
I
wrote zooms.
The camera
I wrote
keeps,
zooms.
Yeah, the camera keeps zooming in and out.
3 points. I've written. Why are you zooming? Stop
really
zooming.
Weird.
This camera is zooming all the time.
Yeah, at one point there's a conversation, so it's cutting, shot reverse shot, whatever, blah blah blah, and on one of the shots it zooms in to the person's face, looks like it's trying to find him, and then zooms out in the same shot. It is so strange.
And that adds this sort of air of like pulpiness to it, right? Because that is obviously it's a camera technique and it makes you think you're watching a certain type of film.
But it's so inconsistent.
But the film this film thinks it's making is not a pulpy.
It's trying to be flashy 1 minute and then on the other minute really gritty but in the same scene.
You just cannot have that. This film doesn't have any. And look, I worked this out quite a way through this film. I don't think the people that made this film have any knowledge of how the choices they're making as a camera operator, as a cinematographer, as an editor,
what the
are
purpose
impacting what we're getting from this film. Because I can't believe anything other than that, because otherwise that suggests that these people are maybe, I don't know, sociopaths or some kind of masochistic fucking enjoys getting pain out of people, because how do you actively know you're doing
gives you
these
a
choices?
headache. Well, I'm glad you agreed on that. I've also got oh my God, the production value. The production value is 0% on everything. Literally everything is so tacky.
Honestly,
props, costume and everything.
Horror maze.
That's the exact right thing.
Yeah.
And I've also got all acting is trash. How are these actors? How are they employed? How?
And I've seen it. Right, so the guy that plays Kevin, right?
Yeah.
I've spent about an hour thinking, where do I recognise him from?
I
He's
do recognise
in.
him.
I don't know if you watched it. He's in Boardwalk Empire, right? He plays a guy
haven't
called
seen
Jimmy
that.
on Boardwalk Empire. He is legitimately brilliant in Boardwalk Empire. He's an amazing actor.
Well, it's like Sharlto Copley is really good in.
He's a good actor.
District 9.
But it just doesn't make sense as well. Another reason why I was talking about Sharlto Copley. Why put someone... Sharlto Copley is, I think, objectively the biggest name in this film,
Yeah,
right?
definitely, yeah.
Why is he not the lead?
It doesn't make sense.
Why did he get 4 scenes
Mate,
and 8 minutes of total screen
everything
time?
in this film, there's no sense behind it.
No,
it
none
doesn't
of it
make
makes sense. And the lead guy is so... I mean, so bad, and I have to reiterate, he looks like Mr. Potato Head.
He
and
does.
It really made every scene feel much funnier than it actually was.
He really does.
Mother of sweet God, this film was an absolute chore.
It was so bad. I just want to read a couple of reviews here this is why you shouldn't watch this film, okay? Because people are literally begging you not to, okay?
Yeah, if this very long edition of the podcast hasn't already convinced you that you shouldn't watch this film,
don't watch
let's see whether these reviews help.
So it's got actually, let me check on IMDb specifically.
It is
3.6 out of 10, okay?
Fuck me. And
the top review is just quite simply unwatchably bad. Bad writing, bad filmmaking, bad acting, no chemistry, boring, tiresome, slow, truly the worst of Netflix. And then we scroll down. I feel like a part of me died watching this film. And the review is just simply, watch paint dry. This could be the worst film on Netflix. Netflix films have been getting better. I have no idea why they're buying awful films like this.
It's a really strange,
Someone
really, really strange.
Very shameful. The worst movie
That sounds like it was Olivia Megaton's mum, and she just doesn't have the guts to tell him.
That sounds like it's cut deep. It says, the worst movie I've ever seen. Shame on you. The title has been wasted on this terrible movie.
Honestly, it does make you feel like a genuine anger towards the production of this.
It really does.
Do you think you were fucking doing?
It really does. The worst movie ever, waste of time, too long, terrible ending. These are all different reviews. Don't waste your time. Intensity. All of the reviews have 1 out of 10.
I mean, it is.
Don't watch it.
Legitimately awful. It's so easy. As I said before, it's so easy to talk in hyperbole and really say it's the worst film. But I implore anyone that's watched this film or is thinking about watching it, if you've watched this film, I genuinely would love to know if you found anything redeemable.
And I'd love to know if you get counselling or anything. If there's any therapy that could help me out trying to forget that I watched it.
Yeah,
because
please. I'm so angry I wasted my evening and a bit of time earlier on that. Legitimately, I hate it. I hate it so much.